Have you ever checked your old change drawer and found a coin that didn't look quite like the others? Maybe it was a silver-colored dollar with an unusual design, a portrait of a strong woman rather than a president. If so, you might have stumbled across one of America's most fascinating and potentially life-changing coins, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. And here's the exciting part. While most of these coins are only worth $1, certain rare varieties, mint errors, and pristine condition pieces can be worth hundreds of thousands, and in unique cases, even push into the millions of dollars. The lucky last one worth more than $980,000, and it could be yours. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was first released in 1979, making history as the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real woman. Susan B. Anthony was a fearless activist who fought for women's rights and the right to vote. The U.S. Mint wanted to honor her legacy, and so they introduced this coin to replace the bulky Eisenhower dollar. But here's the twist. The coin wasn't very popular at the time. People often confused it with a quarter, and it failed to gain widespread acceptance. That's where the story gets interesting, because many of these coins sat untouched, leaving some in pristine condition today. And pristine condition, rare mint marks, or unique minting errors can mean serious money. First, let's talk about the common 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. In circulated condition, these coins typically trade for around $1 to $3. Not too exciting, right? But here's where collectors get really excited. The U.S. Mint struck these coins at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. The San Francisco Mint produced both proof coins and circulation strikes, and this is where the big money potential begins. Among the 1979 coins, the 1979 S-Type 2 proof is one of the rarest and most desirable. Early San Francisco proof coins had a cloudy, filled-in S mint mark, known as Type 1. Later in the year, the mint switched to a sharper, clearer S mint mark, now called Type 2. Collectors go crazy for this variety. In gem-proof, deep cameo condition, a 1979 S-Type 2 can bring thousands of dollars. And that's not just hype, auction records prove it. One stunning example sold for nearly $15,000 at auction. Imagine finding something like that in a forgotten proof set. But we're just getting started. Error coins are where the money jumps into staggering levels. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was produced during a time of major transition at the U.S. Mint. Mistakes happened, and when they did, those mistakes turned ordinary dollars into treasures. For example, off-center strikes, double dies, and wrong planchet errors have all been documented in 1979 SBA dollars. One famous example is the 1979 Susan B. Anthony struck on a silver planchet. Since the Eisenhower dollar had been struck on silver planchets just a few years earlier, a few leftover blanks were accidentally used for the new Anthony dollars. These rare mint errors are so scarce that when they surface, they sell for tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, at major auctions. Another big factor in value is condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfection. A regular $1,979 in average circulated condition might be worth $1, but that same coin in MS-67 or MS-68, essentially flawless condition, can explode in value. High-grade examples certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC often sell for thousands. One MS-68 1979 P dollar sold for over $10,000 not long ago. And if a true MS-69 ever surfaced, it could bring tens of thousands, or potentially more if a bidding war breaks out. Let's not forget about the collector demand. Even though the Susan B. Anthony dollar wasn't beloved in circulation, it has become a hot collectible item today.
Why?
Because it represents history, the first U.S. coin with a real woman, the first small-sized dollar, and one of the shortest coin series in modern history. Struck only from 1979 to 1981, and then again briefly in 1999. That short run creates scarcity. Collectors who want a complete U.S. dollar typeset must have the SBA, which keeps demand strong. So what should you do if you find one of these coins in your pocket change, or tucked away in a family coin jar? The first step is not to spend it. Instead, check for a mint mark, look near the date on the coin. Is it a Philadelphia with no mint mark, a Denver D, or the San Francisco S? Then look at the condition. Is it shiny and sharp, or worn down? If it looks unusual, like struck off center or with doubling, you may have hit the jackpot. And if you think you've got something rare, it's worth sending to a professional grading service. The fee is small compared to the potential payout. Collectors and investors today are constantly hunting for these hidden gems. With stories of coins selling for thousands, and rare varieties reaching incredible prices, it's no wonder the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar has earned a reputation as one of the modern coins that could change your life. Imagine pulling a coin from a drawer that most people overlook and discovering it's worth $50,000, or $100,000, or maybe, in the rarest case, close to $1 million. That's the kind of dream every coin collector chases. So the next time you come across a Susan B. Anthony dollar, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, because that little coin might just be your golden ticket.